From the beautiful city of Ekurhuleni, we welcome you to the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018. Proudly brought to you by Tammy Taylor Nails, Renewal Institute, Batsumi Travel, Body 20, Brentoni Eyewear, Caribbean Tan, Catrice, Contempo, Detangled Hair, Grand Rush Hotel, Impact Recycling, Mrs. World, Nomination, Suzuki, SABC3, System Professional, Tanda Incorporated, Weller Professional, Lamel, and proudly hosted by Emperor's Palace in the city of Ekurhuleni. Who will wear the crown? Abigail Leola, Adele Coolen, Amber Danae Wright, Brunhilde Olivier, Charlene Fenter, and Alicia Streva.
So I'm hanging on to every bite I've tasted. These are the things
Yanni Crunier,
make us stronger. These are the dreams that make us rise each day. We grow the most impatient.
Jessica Peters,
Makes me wonder why we'd ever want to live another way. I see your color shine.
Joanne Barnwell,
The stars are realigned, so we can start again. I see your color shine. It's energy, my friend. The stars are realigned.
Kaylin Hamill Bartlett,
Start again. I see your color shine. It's energy, my friend. The stars
Kirsten Wolf,
so we can start again. I see your color shine.
Matapa Maila Rechotso,
Stars are realigned, so we can start again.
Melissa Charnley, Natisha Maka, Nombina Habangana,
I've done some things, I've seen some places, and I'm living for the look upon their faces. I see them dance,
Sam Retief,
I hear them sing, and every moment is a blessing.
Charlene Correa,
These are the things that make us stronger. These are the dreams that make us rise each day. We grow the most in pain and
Sherry Ann James,
why we'd ever want to live another way. I see your color shine, it's energy, my friend.
Storm Johnson,
Stars are realigned, so we can start again. I see
Tandy Potgieter,
it's energy, my friend. The stars are realigned, so we can start again. I see your color shine, it's energy, my friend.
Unetsi Steenberg Botha,
So we can start again. I see your color shine, it's energy, my friend.
Vuyo Makubela,
So we can start again.
Zaz Molo,
synergy, my friend. The stars are realigning so we can start again. I see your color shining in synergy, my friend. The stars are realigning.
Driver, Mrs. Potgieter. Ow, Mrs. Correa, Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Habanganayo. Hey, Habanganayo. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to give it up for our finalists. Absolutely wonderful work. Whoa, what a way to start the evening. Whew, got me out of breath. But ladies and gentlemen, here we are finally at the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018. Yes. It's hosted, of course, here at the world-class Emperor's Palace in the beautiful city of Ekurhuleni. Could we give it up for DJ Zintle one more time, please? Now, our finalists, as you saw them on the stage right now, were striking their poses in designs from the Afrique Nouveau collection that was designed by the students of Lysof, which is one of Africa's best fashion design and retail academies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed with the evening, the time has now come for me to introduce you to our panel of esteemed judges who certainly have the toughest job of the evening, and we wish them all the best in that. First up, she's a wife, an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a leader in the vehicle accessories manufacturing industry in South Africa. Let's welcome President of Tammy Taylor Nails South Africa, Mel Viljoen. A director of Women for Women. She's a businesswoman herself, an entrepreneur, and one of our favorite former Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africas. Please welcome Thengiwe Twala. Now, he's a corporate and government affairs consultant, former chief corporate affairs executive at Emperor's Palace. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Vusi Zwane. Now, she is reigning Mrs. World, crowned, in fact, here at Emperor's Palace last December. A warm South African welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for Alice-Lee Janetta. And last but certainly not least, our principal judge, international beauty queen, television personality and presenter, celebrated businesswoman and CEO of Women for Women. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cindy Nell Roberts. So after a very short break, we'll be back again to bring you that splashy summer sensation as our Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa 2018 finalists show off their swimwear, brought to you by Caribbean Tan.
Welcome back to the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our journey through the pages of our very glossy magazine this evening, Our Lady's mythical glow is courtesy of Caribbean Tan. Their elegant jewelry is by nomination. Their hair by Espavo Hair Design, and makeup by Catrice and Essence Cosmetics. Their swimwear that you're about to see is by Beach Cult. And so, let us for a moment transport you to the mystic Karoo, where our finalists are shooting a fashion spread for South Africa's top swimwear designer, Beach Cult. Let's hear it again for Abigail, ladies and gentlemen. Adele. Amber. Brunhilde. Charlene. Let's hear it for Enolisha. Yanni. Jessica. Joanne. Kaylin. Kirsten. Madaba. Melissa. Natisha. Up next, Nombina. Sam. Charlene. Sherry Ann. Let's welcome Storm. Tandy.
From the beginning.
Uneti. Vuyo.
Join us after a very short break for more from the 2018 Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale at Empress Palace in the city of Ekurhuleni.
Welcome back to the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018.
When I feel good, I like to attach music to it. Can I just share with you a little bit about how good I feel? And right now we gotta celebrate my brr. Oh, come on. You guys know this song? Are you gonna sing it along? Hey, sing it, say. But Friday night, I know I must be ready for you, just waiting for you. Said Friday night, I know I must be ready for you, just waiting for you. Sing it! I'm your weekend. Say, I'm your weekend. Hey, I'm your weekend. I'm your weekend. Come on now, sing it. Weekend special. I'm your weekend special. Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful.
Ekurhuleni, so good.
The Flight Museum was absolutely incredible. You know, coming from an aviation-based background and walking into a museum like that and looking at the old 737, I could really relate.
I personally have never been in one of those huge aircrafts.
Also walking into the museum part where we could see pictures.
Where you can see the clothes that the people wore.
You can see how much time, effort and thought has gone into the Chris Hani and the Ora Tambo memorials.
It was very emotional for me to actually walk the walk of remembrance.
I was so proud to see, the history behind the freedom struggle that, our people went through. What they died for is very important to us.
Our children are going to grow up to see this, and we must keep honoring our heroes.
It's so, so true that I stand upon the shoulders of giants.
Shisha nyama today. It's all about the meat.
Like for me, that's an Afrikaans girl. I know Afrikaans braai, so I can't wait to taste what shisha nyama braai is like.
I've never tasted shisha nyama before, but all the girls in the bus were raving about it.
The shisha nyama was absolutely amazing.
It's been absolutely amazing. It's got a vibe. It reminds me of my home city. The food here was absolutely amazing. The cocktails were superb after a long day.
Kind of like the last time we were together before finale, before it's dashed, and it was really, really epic.
City of Ekurhuleni, so good.
Now, as you can imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a night like this, a pageant like this is incomplete without the glitz and the glam. So this year, we were able to persuade some of South Africa's top fashion designers to dress our finalists. Please welcome back on the decks, DJ Zintle, dressed by Air, who will be on the decks, of course. Give it up, come on. DJ Zintle, Her Majesty, the Queen. Oh. Now, the finalists tonight are accessorized by nomination jewelry, their makeup by Catrice Cosmetics and Essence, their hair by Espavel Hair Design. And our first group tonight are dressed by award-winning Durban-based designer Francois Vedem. First up, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Yanni Cronje. Now, Yanni Cronje is married to adventurer Pietri. They've been married for 4 years and she loves African rhythms, she says. She's just completed her second degree, LLB, and looks forward to serving South Africa, building unbreakable mindsets, marriages, and women. Next up, Jessica Peters. Jessica is 33 years old and resides in the small farming community of Koster, where her husband is Dewald Peters, and they have two amazing boys, Dewald and Arlu. She cares deeply for those who have no voice in difficult circumstances and believes that no matter what life throws at you, you should always chase your dreams. Joanne Barnwell. Now, 37-year-old Joanne is originally from the small town of Malmesbury, and now resides in the KZN. She says, I'm married to Stephen and we have a 3-year-old son. I'm currently the ambassador for Subs Pads and Project Dignity, and in her own words, I am living proof that any young girl, no matter her circumstances, can achieve her dreams. Next up, Natisha Maka. Natisha is 41 years old from Durban, KZN. She's been married to Dale for 17 years and they have 4 children. She has a background in pharmaceuticals and public relations, but is presently involved with image consulting and women empowerment, which is an integral part of outreach in her community. Vuyo Makubela. Vuyo is 32 years old and from East London. She's been married to Duma Makubela for 7 years now, and they have 2 daughters who are 12 and 8. She's a full-time psychology student at the University of Fort Hare. Next up, Uneti Steenberg-Buerta. Uneti is a healthcare practitioner. She's 38 years old and hails from East London. She's married to Johan, and Johan is actually celebrating his 40th birthday today. They also have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter, Kiara, and she says, I'm a modern woman living in color because of my diversity. I'm doing it all in a day, being a mom, a wife, a healthcare practitioner, and an entrepreneur. We have designs by JJ Skuman, who's a regular feature at South African Fashion Week. And first up, let's meet Amber Dene Wright.
Amber is 26 years old from Cape Town and married to her best friend Nick. She's an interior designer at Cecil & Boyd and has a postgraduate degree in accounting. Next up, Charlene Venter. 40-year-old Charlene Venter is from Cape Town and a proud mother of 2 beautiful children. She says, I'm an occupational therapist and an entrepreneur running 2 early childhood development centers. Next up, Melissa Charnley. 32-year-old Melissa is from Roodepoort in Johannesburg. And she says, I'm a director at MNDC Consulting and specialize in corporate fleet and asset finance. I'm a patron of Barn Swallow's Home for Abandoned Children with specialized needs and an ambassador for the Princess D Menstrual Cup. Next up, meet Nombina Habangana. 33-year-old Nombina is from Soweto and currently living in Roodepoort. She's a wife to Sam and mother to 2 boys, Boucher and Lutzi. She's also a medical doctor who is passionate about education and health with a specific focus on women's health. She breaks boundaries and is unstoppable. Let's welcome Storm Johnson. Storm is a qualified commercial pilot who proudly works for Leads to Business. She's married to her partner in crime, Matthew, and is a mom to 2 beautiful little boys, passionate about life and making moments beautiful for terminally ill children. Next up, let's meet Zaz Molo. Zaz Molo is all the way from Tabongo, Velkomo. She's a mother of 3, Tammy, Iwazi, and Bulumko, and she's married to Zweli Gordon Molo. She's an IT project manager and inspirational speaker, and she says, I'm a modern woman living in color because I live a purposeful life. Now, our next group is dressed by Tshwane-based fashion designer Tsoteti KL. Let's welcome onto the stage Brunhilde Olivier. Brunhilde is 31 years old and from Pretoria. She's married to the love of her life for 8 years now, and she's a mom of 2. She has 2 degrees and is a business owner. She also runs an organization called Beautiful Like Me that focuses on bullying and cyberbullying. Next up, Kaylin Hamill-Bartlett. Kaylin Hamill-Bartlett is a mineral resource geologist currently completing her 2nd master's degree in engineering. She's a mentor for the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy and the Wits University Internship Program. Let's welcome Sam Retief. Sam says this about herself. I'm 40 years old and was raised in El Dorado Park. I'm married to my varsity sweetheart, Dean Retief, and together we have 2 daughters, Daniela and Demique. I'm a BCom law graduate and co-founder of Ignite Ministries and Ignite for Her Leadership Foundation and the director of multiple learning centers. Next up, Charlene Correa. Charlene Correa is from Benoni and she's 39 years old. She's happily married to Ricardo with 3 wonderful children, Ricardo Jr., who's 12, Gabriel, who's 5, and Rebecca, who's 1. Charlene works for a JSE-listed company that provides cash flow funding for SMEs. She says this of herself, one of my roles in achieving this is in the Women in Business program. I have a bachelor's degree in education and love children as well as scuba diving. Next up, let's welcome onto the stage Tandy Potgieter. Tandy is married to her soulmate, Stephen, and she's a mom to 3 special boys. She's also CEO of Icarus Media and founder of Empowering USA. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for all 6 ladies dressed in Tsoteti KL. Now, our last group were dressed by sought-after designer Ryan Keys. Let's welcome onto the stage Abigail Leola. 30-year-old Abigail Leola is from Hartbeespoort in the Northwest. She's married to Tenolo Leola for 6 years, and together they have a 2-year-old son, Kaone. Now she says, I'm an owner and managing director of a business consulting company and sit on 2 other boards as non-executive director. I run a charity drive called Empower a Girl Child. I love the outdoors, and in my spare time, I horse ride. I'm a modern woman living in color because I live my passion, I push the boundaries, and I create my own destiny. Next up, Adele Kulen. Adele is 37 years old and married to Johan for 9 years. She's a physiotherapist by profession and business owner as well. She's the founder of the hashtag I Am Enough ZA campaign and ambassador for Surgeons for Little Lives charity. And she says, I believe I am not defined by my circumstances. Next up, Enolisha Streever. Enolisha is 30 years old and originally from Welkom in the Free State. She's married to Albie Streever for 4 beautiful years, and they have 2 handsome boys, Aiden and Ethan. A senior IT project manager with an honors degree in business management, and she says, I believe if you are good to others, good things will follow you. Next up, Kirsten Drew Wolf. Kirsten Drew Wolf is a wife and a mom, a BSc graduate, business owner and entrepreneur. And she says this of herself, I believe in a just and equal society for every girl, and women deserve every opportunity. Next up, let's welcome onto the stage Matapa Maila Rikhotso. 33-year-old Matapa is from Polokwane in Limpopo. She's married to Douglas Rikhotso for 3 years, and they're blessed with a 4-year-old daughter, Rifuo. Matapa works in category management. Now, passing matric seemed like an impossible task because of my disadvantaged background, but today I am a graduate 4 times over. I work with my organization, Matapa and Friends, to keep a girl child in school. Next up, let's welcome Sherry Ann James. Sherry Ann James is 32 years old and she's a pastor and a doula from Fourways. She's married to Leon. She's a mom to Joshua and Abigail. She loves the gift of life and people, and she takes pleasure in serving others and believes that love has the power to change and transform lives.
Welcome back to the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018.
Now, ladies and gents, since the announcement of our top 25 finalists, each of the finalists was tasked with acquiring SMS votes, and their vote cards were advertised on SABC3. So tonight, it is the finalist who has generated the most votes who will become the SABC3 Viewer's Choice. And now, the moment that we've all been voting for and waiting for, of course, the SABC3 Viewer's Choice Award goes to Ekurhuleni. Our next category is the honor of Mrs. Photogenic. Now, this winning candidate knows how to work all the camera angles, and our official photographers Brendan Croft and Amory Pearson spent the year photographing all of the finalists. Now, they have cast their votes, and the winner of this category will also receive a comprehensive photographic shoot sponsored by Amory Pearson and styled by Trendy Toast to the value of 10,500 rand. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Photogenic is Vuyo Makubela. Now, our next category is the Caribbean Tan Body Beautiful Award, and it is awarded to the finalist who is seen to be the fittest of them all and who totally rocked the swimwear shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Brunhilde Olivier! Next up, I'd like to call on Cindy Nell Roberts, founder of Women for Women, to assist in bestowing the next award. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. I was wondering if you could tell us and the audience and everyone watching about the journey that Women for Women and the Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa, has walked this past year.
We feel that female is the future, that young girls of previously disadvantaged backgrounds and young girls who do not have the means to be educated, skills development, information, to transform their lives to become incredible contributors to our economy and powerful women.
Indeed, a worthy cause worth supporting. And now we've got some exciting news in that Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa, has raised just over 900,000 rand to benefit Women for Women this year. And I'm going to ask Mrs. Charity, Candace Robertson, to please join us on stage to make the presentation to Women for Women. Mrs. Charity 2018 is Ekurhuleni. Thank you very, very much. And congratulations also to our 4 category award winners. Very well deserved, ladies. The time has now come for us to announce our top 10 finalists. And unfortunately, of course, this means that we have to say goodbye to some of our other finalists on the stage. Your top 10 in the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa 2018 competition. Storm Johnson, Nombina Habangana, Yanni Cronier, Matapa Maila Rikhotso, Sherry Ann James, Joanne Barnwell, Amber Dean Wright, Enolisha Striever, Abigail Leola, and last but certainly not least of our top 10 finalists, Melissa Charnley. Ladies, deep breaths. You are one step closer to the crown. We'll now be announcing our top 5 finalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 in no particular order. Storm Johnson, Enolisha Striever, Joanne Barnwell, Mataba Maila Rikhotso. Ladies and gentlemen, the last of our top 5, Nombina Habangana. Let's hear it for your top 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, ladies, it is question time. Now, our esteemed judges will be asking each of our top 5 finalists a burning question. And we will be asking them in the order in which they were announced. Cindy, your question is up first for Storm Johnson. Please join me center stage.
How do we successfully marry, staying in our morals, values, ethic, and teaching our young girls that, but become and remain empowered women for the future?
Thank you for the question, Cindy. Good evening, everyone. I believe we as women have every right to take our time, and we need to lose the concept that marriage has to be made at a specific age. Marry your best friend and never settle. Thank you.
Can you tell us why did you enter the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa pageant, despite being in a very successful career? And if you can also tell us how you plan to balance the demands of the pageant with those of your career.
Thank you for the question, Vusi. Good evening, South Africa. I've always been a part of beauty pageants, and I have the experience of winning. But winning has never been about me, but more what the title enabled me to do for others. It's in my heart to serve and to provide. And what I plan to do with the title is pursue my passion, which is sports and education, which I believe is so pivotal to our country today. Thank you.
In your opinion, what can our government do to give more support to small businesses and entrepreneurs?
I think it also starts in your communities. I believe that we need to empower each other. We need to bring the boy child with us. We need to empower the men as well. And by empowering the men as well as the women, we will be able to create more jobs and support small businesses. Thank you so much.
My question for you is, as a mom of girls, and I know you're a mom of a girl, what is the biggest change you would like to see in our young women in the next generation?
Thank you very much for the question. We're living in a time and era where women must take the power back and know that we do not belong in any box and we can dream any dream that we want because our dreams are valid too. It is high time that we do not raise our girls to be first women, but we raise them to be presidents. Thank you.
So my question for you is that This year has been an incredible year for women in the hashtag #MeToo movement and the fight for gender equality, where women want equal treatment in all walks of life. Some people say, and I know I have been asked this when I travel as Mrs. World, some people say that beauty pageants are outdated and they're no longer relevant when in an era, women want to be treated equally based on our brains and our abilities. What do you say to those critics who ask you, are beauty pageants still relevant in today's times?
Thank you for the question. Firstly, beauty and brains are possible. And as a medical doctor and a top 5 finalist, it is clear that that is true. Women who... Thank you. Women who've gone through pageants have a level of confidence and self-worth that only a process like this can shine, can bring out of them. And young women especially need a platform where they can do that, because society keeps pulling us down and telling us we can't do this or do that. So beauty pageants will remain relevant. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much to our judges for those burning questions. I certainly think that they put the pressure on our top 5 finalists. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our top 5 finalists. Now, the winner of the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa competition, of course, stands to win fabulous prizes indeed. And we want to show you what that is all about. Take a look.
Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa and her princesses will walk away with prizes to the value of over 1 million rand. The Renewal Institute, Batsumi Travel, Body 20, Brentoni Eyewear, Catrice Cosmetics and Essence, Caribbean Tan, Contempo, Detangled Hair, System Professional and Weller Professionals, Esparvo Hair Design, Nomination Jewelry. The lucky lady crowned tonight will drive away in a brand new Suzuki. Tammy Taylor Nails, The Think Clinic, Lamel Research Laboratories, Official Stylists, Trendy Toast. Mrs. South Africa is proud to hold hands with Impact Recycling as they promote a greener South Africa for our children. Mrs. South Africa and her finalists have the privilege of enjoying the hospitality of our hosts, Emperor's Palace. In the city of Ekurhuleni, COE So Good, Mrs. South Africa will be representing our country internationally at the Mrs. World, all expenses paid. Our new Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa will become a brand ambassador for our official broadcast sponsor, SABC3. We will be back after this commercial break. Welcome back to the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa Grand Finale 2018.
What is a legacy? Well, according to the dictionary, it is something left or handed down by a predecessor. I disagree. The word something does not hold nearly enough weight in this context. I was given so much more than that. When Hlengiwe Twala placed her crown of virtue upon my head 1 year ago, my world shifted beneath the weight of her legacy. And I knew in that moment that it was my responsibility to grow that legacy. One of love, passion, and purpose. One of woman advocating for woman. My journey to the crown began 3 years ago when my daughter was diagnosed with a life-limiting rare disease, cystic fibrosis, at 6 weeks old. The day motherhood gifted me with courage. I consciously left behind deep insecurities and paralyzing apathy, and I bravely entered Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa with no pageant or modeling background. I decided to work hard without complaining, to dream audacious dreams, and to fight relentlessly to achieve them, so that one day, with integrity, I can ask her to fight for her dreams, her breath, her life. My 2 children remain my center and will always be my purpose and my heartbeat. I decided to climb because it sets my soul on fire. I climbed to Everest Base Camp, summited my first peak in Nepal, conquered the highest peak in every province in SA, and reached the highest point in Africa, Uhuru Peak on Mount Kilimanjaro, on Women's Day. Why? Not because I'm the strongest, or even the fastest. I am not the most experienced. I did it for the same reason that I told the judges last year that I should be the next Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa. Because I am normal, I am real, I am relatable, and I am just an ordinary woman trying to do something extraordinary in my community for a purpose, hoping to inspire other South Africans to step out in courage, hand in hand, and do the same. Let's climb together. Let's go to rare heights.
The time has now come for us to reveal our new queen. She's bright, she's beautiful. She mirrors such virtues as integrity, character, strength, respect, generosity and empathy, a quick mind, and love. Now, our new Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa will also become an ambassador for our official sponsors, SABC3, the city of Ekurhuleni, and she'll also win a license to her very own Tammy Taylor franchise. She will also represent South Africa at the Mrs. World pageant to be held in China in March of 2019. And on that note, it gives me great pleasure to welcome onto the stage reigning Mrs. World, Alice Lee Gianetta. Alice, it's fantastic to welcome you back onto this hallowed stage where you experienced a life-changing moment last year when you were crowned. And I'm sure you are so excited and proud to be representing the Mrs. World organization here in South Africa, a place that has special memories for you, I hope.
It is. Thank you so much, Hileko. And I have to say, though, you are a true talent, a true treasure for South Africa. I enjoy your performance and your MC. It brought back so many sweet memories. Just about this time last year, December, I was standing on the same stage before I was crowned, and South Africa for always will be so special to me. And I think what makes it so different is the people here. Because as Mrs. World, I have traveled to 7 different countries. I have attended so many different national pageants, but no one in the audience is as supportive and as enthusiastic as here in South Africa. The best. I feel the heat and I feel the love. So this is always going to be one of my favorite places.
Without any further ado or any delay, your Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa 2018, second princess is... Joanne Barnwell. Your Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa 2018 first princess is... and Alicia Strever. And we now call on our reigning Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa, Nicole Kappa, to crown our new queen. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa, your Tammy Taylor, Mrs. South Africa 2018 is... Matapamaila Rikhoso! Ladies and gentlemen, your Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa 2018 Queen, Matapa Maila Rikhotso.